So lads, this was a huge announcement by Unrivaled, and this is something that is very interesting. Angel Reese is another player who is not currently on the Unrivaled.
Here's the bombshell. Angel Reese has been quietly cut from the Unrivaled League's roster for Season 2. No official statement, no press release, no explanation, just silence. How does someone go from being the face of an entire league to being completely erased from the roster?
Unrivaled, they've named most of their players coming for the year 2, the second season. And like I said earlier, Angel is not one of the people on that list.
Angel Reese was supposed to be a cornerstone of Unrivaled. The league launched with her front and center in every campaign. She called herself the first ever Unrivaled champion. Yet when the Season 2 roster dropped, her name was nowhere to be found.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3, part 10, let's get it!
I hope you have window insurance.
Bang!
Not sure if I've ever seen her pass the ball. Let's see if it happens on this possession. Reese goes to her patting in dipsy-doo. Let's see it. No!
Bang!
Oh, there it is. That's a pass, and it's picked off going the other way.
Oh, they fumble it back. Green team time!
Sidestep, 3-ball, butter pecan.
Bang!
Reese's puff with the rebound.
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang!
Y'all need to find something you love as much as Angel Reese loves her mid-range. Beautiful.
Bang!
Was this an oversight or a message? Looking at Angel's track record, this was a calculated decision by a league that decided the drama wasn't worth it anymore. We're breaking down what led to this moment. Performance issues, controversial exits, tension with teammates, and how the league chose stability over star power. We'll also see how players like Caitlin Clark are showing a completely different path to success.
I had no idea that Angel Reese didn't even bother to show up, did not show up to support her teammates. It was that unimportant, but yet took a victory lap that you won a championship? You got to be joking.
Angel Reese beating her shit. What y'all gonna say now? Now that I have this Unrivaled championship that I didn't even think to attend.
When Unrivaled announced their Season 2 roster, basketball fans immediately noticed something strange. Angel Reese's name was missing. At first, people thought it might be a typo, but as hours turned into days, it became clear this was intentional. The silence was deafening. No injury report, no statement. Just absolute radio silence. People flooded social media asking what happened, but this wasn't Angel's choice. This was a business decision. If there's one moment that sealed Angel's fate, it was the playoffs. When the most crucial games arrived, Angel wasn't there. She sat out multiple playoff games while her teammates battled without her. And here's the kicker. She was celebrating through a phone screen, literally FaceTiming into the celebration.
And this championship game was so unimportant. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll watch from home. I'll watch this stream from home, and I'll FaceTime in if we win.
This league has got to figure out a way to honor Angel Reese in all this. That's right.
Her teammates carried the load, dealt with the pressure, gutted it out. Then when they won, there's Angel on FaceTime, celebrating like she was there the whole time. She even posted on social media about winning an Unrivaled championship she didn't attend. Multiple sources say Unrivaled didn't forget this. This playoff absence became the defining moment that changed how the league viewed her. It wasn't just about missing games, it was about unreliability when stakes are highest. From the outside, it looked less like taking a necessary break and more like bailing when things got hard. In professional sports, that reputation is almost impossible to shake.
I'm telling you, there's nobody in the world better at chasing down their own block shot than Angel Reese. One door closes, another opens. Look at that.
Bang!
Time to put respect on Angel Reese positioning under the basket. Look at the leverage she gets. Brianna Stewart, you're locked and loaded, girl. Rebound, Lexi Hole. Look at the seal out by Reese. What an opening. Easy layup.
Bang! Bang!
How about we finish off with some free throws? Flick of that wrist, bounce that ball. Flickety, flickety, boogity, bop.
The Unrivaled playoff situation wasn't isolated. A troubling pattern emerges when you look at Angel's career. With the Chicago Sky, her rookie WNBA season ended early with a wrist injury. Her sophomore season also ended early with a back injury. 2 injury-shortened seasons in a row raises eyebrows. Here's what's interesting. Weeks after these supposedly debilitating injuries forced her to shut down, Angel was everywhere. Social appearances, brand deals, podcasts, public events, activities that apparently didn't require much recovery time. Reports from inside the sky suggest the timing raised questions. When cameras were off and the season grind got real, injuries would appear. Once the spotlight shifted to more glamorous opportunities, those injuries seemed to resolve remarkably quickly. Teammates reportedly noticed. Coaches questioned her focus. The perception developed that she would find a way out when things got tough. That reputation followed her everywhere, with every locker room wondering, can we count on her? Beyond absences, there were legitimate performance concerns. Turnovers piled up game after game. Constant technical fouls for arguing with refs and excessive celebrations. Her body language on the court became problematic. When things weren't going her way, the negativity was visible and contagious. Teammates noticed Angel seemed more focused on how she looked than what the team needed. Multiple clips show her celebrating missed shots, high-stepping after flashy moves even when the ball didn't go in, while her team tried to get back on defense. Behind flashy numbers were ugly truths. She could fill up a stat sheet, but stats don't capture possessions where she refused to pass to open teammates because she wanted glory. They don't measure times she cost her team with unnecessary technical fouls. Her style was individualistic to a fault, and she was podcasting and curating social media mid-season, even as playoff races tightened. That sent a clear message about priorities that no coach wants to see. Let's talk about the cold business reality behind Angel's exit. Professional sports leagues are businesses that make calculated decisions based on return on investment. Unrivaled went all in on Angel initially. Her face was everywhere. They flooded social media with her content, racking up over 31 million views across platforms. She was trending. The league was getting attention. Every marketing executive thought they'd found the formula. Drama equals growth. But then reality hit. After the first weekend, TV audiences dropped to around 100,000 per game, a two-thirds drop in viewership. The memes stayed popular, clips kept circulating, but actual fans who would watch full games, buy tickets, and support sponsors, they weren't showing up. The analytics team saw it clearly. Virality without loyalty. Clicks without commitment. Buzz without business.
You just never know. You just never know with all the shit that's going on right now with the Chicago Sky, with all the shit that's going on with her.
That's when internal conversations changed tone. Executives started asking, is this attention making us money or just noise? Sponsors got cold feet. Every public feud made it harder for Unrivaled to convince partners that women's basketball could anchor a clean, positive brand. Companies weren't interested in chaos, they wanted empowerment. Reports say the marketing department watched return on investment charts slide into dangerous territory. Angel's name could spark millions of views, but ticket sales stayed flat. That's when diminishing returns started appearing in meetings. Her drama had hit saturation. More controversy wasn't creating more engagement, it was driving audiences away. Fans figured out the pattern. Every week ended with more finger-pointing than basketball. Once viewers realized that, they tuned out entirely. Why invest time when the off-court circus overshadows actual competition? From a business standpoint, keeping Angel meant paying for unpredictability. She might draw views, but at what cost? Another playoff quit? Constant sponsor concerns? Negative headlines overshadowing the product? League officials saw an easy financial decision. Instead of throwing good money after bad publicity, they could cut ties and reset. Focus on stability instead of volatility. The moment Unrivaled realized Angel's attention wasn't translating into revenue, her future was sealed. We can't discuss Angel's downfall without talking about Caitlin Clark, the player who represents everything Angel isn't. While Angel was losing opportunities through drama, Caitlin was building an empire through the opposite approach. The contrast is stark. While Angel chased headlines, Caitlin built her brand around consistency and lifting everyone up. While Angel clashed with teammates, Caitlin empowered hers. Look at what Caitlin's done with the Indiana Fever. In 2 seasons, she's transformed the franchise. Aaliyah Boston plays with more freedom because Caitlin's spacing drags defenders out. Lexi Hull is finding her stroke thanks to perfectly timed passes. Kelsey Mitchell maintains rhythm because Caitlin creates flow, not chaos. Players like Sophie Cunningham have found new life because Caitlin amplifies their strengths rather than overshadowing them. This is smart, unselfish leadership. And none of it requires drama. No shouting matches, no feuds, no arm waving on TV. Coaches rave about her adaptability and how rarely she forces her own highlights. Unlike players who put individual stats above team structure, Caitlin made unselfish decision-making her signature. This is called the Clark effect. Everyone around her gets better. You can see it in teammates' faces during games. They're engaged, believing in something sustainable. That stability doesn't trend online like controversy does, but it always wins long-term. The results speak for themselves. The Fever's attendance hit record levels. Merchandise sales are through the roof. Media outlets fight for broadcast rights. In 2 seasons, Caitlin built what most franchises spend a decade chasing: identity and trust. Sponsors who hesitated on women's basketball now call the Fever first. They see reliability, professionalism, and a product families want to support. That's sustainable growth. Meanwhile, Angel's old teams sort through drama, half-empty arenas, and exhausted PR departments. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Caitlin represents a new definition of star power. It's not about generating controversy or going viral fastest. It's about building something lasting, creating a culture that wins and develops players. When things get tense in the fourth quarter, Caitlin doesn't point fingers. She calls plays that bring everyone together. That's leadership that multiplies wins. That's why the Fever look like the blueprint for the game's next era. Compare that to Chicago, where every off-season starts with new identity and fresh start. Code for instability that's followed Angel everywhere. Angel's exit from Unrivaled isn't just about one player. It's about women's basketball establishing a new standard for what it means to be a star. For too long, the conversation was dominated by personality over performance, drama over discipline. There was this idea that any attention was good attention, that controversy could be leveraged into growth. But that era is ending. The league has realized that charisma without commitment wears thin fast. Viral moments without winning doesn't build sustainable franchises. Drama creates temporary spikes but doesn't create loyal fan bases. Angel represented the old model, the influencer athlete who treated professional sports like a content platform, where brand came before team, where social media engagement mattered more than playoff appearances. But fans have seen through it. They want substance. Players who respect the game enough to show up consistently, who value teammates enough to prioritize winning over personal glory. Unrivaled's decision to quietly cut Angel is a statement about values, about choosing long-term credibility over short-term clicks. Other players are watching and learning that generating controversy for attention doesn't work anymore. The game has evolved. Modern women's basketball values professionalism, consistency, and team-first mentality. Players who understand that leadership isn't about volume, but about elevating those around you. Teams are investing in culture. Fans reward effort and chemistry with loyalty. Sponsors gravitate towards stability and growth. Angel's exit marks the end of one era and the beginning of another, where drama doesn't shield you from consequences. The Fever and players like Caitlin prove this new model works. Shared growth draws real attention. Consistent excellence builds devoted fan bases. Quiet leadership creates winning cultures that sustain themselves. So here we are. Angel Reese, once promoted as the face of Unrivaled, now completely off the roster with no explanation, no apology, just silence. It's a stunning fall from grace, but when you look at the pattern of behavior, the performance issues, the business realities, it's not exactly surprising. The league made a calculated decision that stability matters more than star power. That drama trends briefly, but discipline builds winning cultures. That they'd rather invest in players who show up consistently than gamble on someone who might bail when things get difficult. Whether Angel can turn this around remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The landscape of women's basketball has changed. The standards have been raised, and players who want to thrive in this new era better be ready to back up their talk with consistent action. So what do you think? Did Unrivaled make the right call? Was this a fair business decision, or did they give up on Angel too quickly? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this conversation is far from over.